It's Tuesday night and the Tigers are packing up for the very first football game of the 2016 season. I'm joined with LSU football head equipment manager Greg Stringfellow. Now Greg, how is packing the truck different for this 1,100-mile journey up to Lambeau than it is on a regular away game week?
It's really not that much different as far as what we pack and what we're bringing with us. I mean, it's the same stuff we need for almost every single game. The difference is we're having to pack it on a Tuesday night, get on the road on a Wednesday morning instead of a Thursday night for a Friday departure. So we're moving up the schedule about 3 days to try to get things going so we can get there and try to beat the team there.
Okay, when you all are packing up this truck, it's just not, here's all the stuff, let's put it in there. Describe how you get everything up in that truck.
Everything kind of has its place. All the trunks are size specific about what's on them and what's in them. So we try to have kind of a system of what's worked, and it's kind of like a fun game of Tetris. And you know, the guys are in there moving stuff around. They have to hold it to try to make sure all the parts fit. You don't want a whole lot of slack where trunks are beating up on the sides or beating up on each other. So you try to get them in there into a way that they're packed very tightly, and then seal it off so it doesn't shift during transport.
What's the most difficult thing about going to a stadium that you've never been to before when you're trying to plan getting all the stuff up here, being set up for the game, and then breaking it all down to bring back to Baton Rouge? I
think the biggest thing is really not knowing the facility, not being familiar with the people there. I can't just call someone and say, hey, we're coming again, be ready for us, you know. Green Bay's building a locker room for us. When I was there in the spring, it was a basketball gym. They're actually building a locker room. Today we got some pictures of the locker room in so that we can actually see how the setup's going to be a little bit, and it looks great. It looks better than what I thought it was going to look when I left there in the spring. So it's really good. It looks like we're going to have everything set, probably as good, if not better, than we've had in any road game in a while.
You did a site inspection back in the spring prior to getting ready for this trip. What are some of the things that you looked for up there when planning on bringing the Tigers up there?
Well, the things we got to look for is where to park the truck. I mean, where are we going to park it? How are we going to get in there? How are we going to load and unload in the locker room? How hard or easy is it to get to the locker room? How far away is it from the field? Know the path to the field. Know what the press box looks like, where the coaches are going to be. We also have to know where the team drops off at, how the team gets into the stadium, which way they go. Make sure they're not going into the wrong areas. Know where the media room is. We also got to check the hotel, make sure the hotel has the right meeting rooms, make sure that they have everything that we need there, so that when we're moving around and going to these places, we feel good about it when we get there.
So you're telling me when the team just gets there, it's not just magically set up? This is a really long process?
It's magic, they think, but it's a very long process for the support staff that goes, the managers and trainers and video people that go out way ahead of the team. You know, the students do a brunt of the work. They're the ones that go out there and set up. They're the ones who get everything ready. They're the ones who pack it all. And then they get it there and they have to unpack it and set it up. They want to make it look as much like LSU football as possible, so that when we're there, they want these guys to feel at home. Video-wise, when you get in the meeting rooms, you want to have the video. Training room-wise, you want it to feel like the training room here in football operations, and the equipment room's the same way. When we get to that locker room, we want it to feel like the locker room in Tiger Stadium on game day.
Okay, it's the Tigers' first trip up to Green Bay. Very historic game for LSU. Outside of the site visit, the first time you will be experiencing a football game up in Wisconsin. How excited are you to be able to experience this with LSU?
Well, you know, I think the thing about Green Bay that a lot of people don't understand in Lambeau Field is that it's a very historic environment. You know, going to Dallas and going to that new stadium there is really one of the neatest stadiums in the country. Texas, that stadium in Houston is awesome. I mean, we've been to Nashville, we've been to Tampa, but Green Bay is a place, this hasn't happened in however many years for a college football game, and they're excited about it. The Green Bay people, they're excited. And just going to a place that's that historic in college football. When we were there in the spring, we had the opportunity to walk through the Hall of Fame, and I think that the Hall of Fame is one of the coolest things. You know, you can go through Hall of Fames of a lot of places, but when you go through the Green Bay Packer Hall of Fame, it's just different. The amount of rings and trophies and the history of the team, that all plays into it. You know, when you walk into the stadium, it has a Tiger Stadium kind of feel to it. It kind of has an old concrete stadium feel to it, and it's gold. You know, it's kind of got the same colors. You know, our helmets are actually, the name on the color of our helmets when we order them is Green Bay Gold. So there's a lot of similarities between the two teams in the helmet color and things like that. Their stripes on their jersey, all that is very similar between two teams, so it's really cool to be able to go see the history of that place and tie it in with our history.
Oh gosh, well, you got me excited all over again. Good luck finishing packing the truck.
you.
Travel safe. I'll see you in Green Bay. Hopefully, maybe there's some jackets on the truck in case it gets cold.
It's going to be cool for certain people who can't. We're acclimatized right now to about 95 degrees and rainy. That's what we've been here in for a while. We're going to get about 75 degrees and a nice cool dry breeze, probably off of Lake Michigan, something like that. So it's almost going to feel like winter to people in Baton Rouge when they're there. So it's going to be a little bit of a culture change for us, but it's going to be really enjoyable. It's going to be football weather, and I think that when I gave Coach Miles the forecast, he was really excited that it was like football weather to lead the season. So it's going to be fun.
Exactly. Thanks a lot, Greg.
Thanks, Emily.